Hello, welcome to Comcast Local Edition. I'm Amy Allison. The issue of youth literacy is on the mind of our next guest, Michael Lombardo, who's Executive Director of Yes Reading, which serves the whole Bay Area. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, tell us about your program.
Well, Yes Reading is a leading children's literacy nonprofit. We operate reading centers at struggling elementary schools throughout the Bay Area. Right now, we're primarily focused on the South Bay and Peninsula, but are expanding into San Francisco and Oakland starting in the fall.
So is this a one-on-one tutoring program?
That's exactly right. At our centers, we recruit and train community volunteers who come in for as little as just an hour a week, and they work with students on a one-on-one basis, helping them with reading skills.
Is there a special technique that you teach your volunteers to use?
We try to make it fun. We have a highly structured curriculum. We're very outcomes oriented. All of our program staff are former teachers. Our curriculum is teacher designed. We work hand in glove with the school, so we try to make it match what the students are doing in their language arts classes, but we also try to make it fun too.
How are you finding literacy as being an issue because kids don't have the right kind of support at home? Is it an issue of speaking English as a second language? What do you attribute the problems to?
There are a number of different issues, as a matter of fact, and you're right that sort of the level of literacy instruction in the home is first and foremost. The average student coming from a low-income background will have been read to only 25 hours by the time they reach elementary school, whereas a kid coming from a more affluent background will have 2,000 to 3,000 hours of parent reading time. So we're really using community members to kind of step in and fill the void of literacy in the home. And I want to make it clear that in these homes where the students aren't receiving the same kind of reading, it's usually because the parents are working very hard, they're working many jobs trying to put food on the table. It's not that these families don't care about the literacy of their children, it's either that the families have literacy problems themselves or, like I say, are so busy just trying to survive that they can't find time to sit down and pull out the Harry Potter.
Do you find that your volunteers do come from the families that read 2,000 to 3,000?
That's
they
exactly
come from
right.
a reading home.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The families who sort of provide volunteers, we really see a spectrum of people. We have as young as high school students and college students who come in to work at Yes Reading Centers. We have a wonderful bunch of sort of mid-career and stay-at-home parents who come in to serve as well. And then we have senior citizens who come in who tend to have a lot of time and a lot of enthusiasm for the Yes Reading program.
Mm-hmm. How do you pair up people? I always think, do you look at personality? Do you look at age?
Every student has their own sort of needs, and we do try to be very individualized. Every child, when they come into our program, gets a battery of assessments where we really try to zero in on what are the reading skills that they need work in, whether it's, reading comprehension tends to be the most common, where kids can understand what's on the page, but they don't internalize it. So they read the whole Harry Potter book, and by the end of it, they don't know what Hogwarts is. And so we need to really work with them to kind of understand and incorporate, because they'll use those same skills later in life when they're doing science classes and math classes and geography. So when we match a volunteer with a child, we're really trying to find a personality fit, but we're also trying to make sure that it's a volunteer who's really able to work with that specific reading gap that the student has.
So it's like, let's read something and let's talk about what just happened.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And we'll have worksheets that they'll do together. We'll have little games. We'll do like Scrabble and things like that, so that there's an opportunity for the child to kind of take apart what they've read and put it back together again.
Now, you're privately funded. There's no charge to the students that you provide the service
That's
to.
exactly right. Most of the students we come from sort of low-income backgrounds, so we provide this at no charge to them. We also are dealing with elementary schools who are oftentimes struggling to make ends meet themselves, and so we do not charge the elementary schools, we do not charge the districts. So we are fortunate to be funded by a number of corporations, foundations, and very generous individuals here in the Bay Area.
Any groups of people that work at corporations that come together and go out and do the tutoring?
We do have that happen, and a number of corporations have done that. Cisco, Google come to mind immediately, Intuit. But we generally are trying to lock volunteers into a semester-long commitment. One of the things that I think was an aha moment for me when I came to work with Yes Reading is, literacy acquisition takes a long time, and you can't really teach a child to read in 2 or 3 days.
You got to build that relationship.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about that exciting program. Our guest today, Michael Lombardo, is Executive Director of Yes Reading. You can get involved yourself. On the website, my name's Amy Allison. Thanks for joining us on Comcast Local Edition.